go. It's 9 p.m., July 1st, 2020, and we have a ton of things to talk about in this weather update. And we still have severe thunderstorms. Looks like well, these aren't severe anymore, but there was a warning out for this one for a period. Danbury, it looks like in Connecticut, southwestern Connecticut, these are moving into the North Shore or western Suffolk shortly. And I was watching. I got a video of some of the, I didn't get hit by anything, but boy, the cloud formations were amazing. We had some close calls, and I got a lot of video. That won't be up probably until tomorrow morning. But wow, just a ton of stuff going on. So this is the National Weather Service radar. You can see these storms that are over. Looks like over Bridgeport and looks like Stamford, moving into the North Shore of Long Island. Looking at lightning strikes. These are still producing lightning here. This cell over here that is over the sound here. Looks like it's approaching Smithtown here. This one is producing lightning, and then they're moving very slowly too. That's the other thing. They're moving very slowly, so they definitely can put down a lot of rain. Let's go look at the higher resolution radar here, and let's pull this in a little more if we can. This is being very slow. So you can see here, yeah, we're not. I don't know, for some reason it's missing frames. I don't know what's going on, so I'll just have to pause it. All right, let's just pause it. I don't know why it's not loading the whole loop. It's like loading part of it, and yeah, it's just loading the last part. All right, let's we'll look at the current part of it. So you can see this is a higher resolution. Look at the radar, and you see here that it looks like it's over the worst part of the cell is actually over Stamford, and it looks like it's getting ready to cross the Sound and move into Smithtown and Huntington. More towards Smithtown, I think. Actually, some purple with this cell too. So that's a pretty intense cell, and then you have some more over here, and then there's another one. So it's just been a very active day. But once again, the central part of Nassau really didn't get anything severe as far as that goes. We did get some. What was weird was we're going to go and we're going to actually look at the Ventu Sky radar, and we'll show you the history of what happened today. So we'll go to the radar and we'll show you the history. I guess we'll first start off with this afternoon. This is what it is currently, but let's first start off with this afternoon. I guess around 4 p.m. I think it was, no, not 4 yet. All right, so we had these storms that were forming over Connecticut. You can see there were some in over northwest New Jersey. Moving it over to 5 p.m. This is what wound up happening. We had a cell that popped over, a severe thunderstorm popped over, and it sat over this area in Manorville and Ridge. So this is around 5 p.m. And it just sat there, and then another one popped up over western Suffolk, and then another one popped up over Westchester. All right, so now this is 5:50 p.m. Okay, so 5:50 p.m. You can see things are really getting active here over the looks like the Bridge and Manorville area. All right, we move it over to 8:20. I'm sorry, not 8:20, but 6:20. And this is the cell that went out. I was having dinner in Hicksville, and this cell literally just missed us to the east. I could see it building, and I was just finishing up my dinner, and I had to go out there and take some video and pictures of this. It had a shelf cloud. There was a lot of lightning. You could hear a lot of thunder. Didn't have the best view of it, but boy, this cell here, it went just to the east of Hicksville, literally, just to the east of Hicksville. It literally, Hicksville's right over here, and it went just to the east. So still didn't get it hit by a thunderstorm. There was another cell that hit Brentwood, and then some more that wound up. Again, this one kind of just merged into like a line of cells right here throughout the middle of the island, east of Hicksville. And then there was another weaker cell over Port Washington. So this is 6:20. Let's move this along to 6:40. You can see then there was a warning out for this one. There was a warning out for this storm as well. It was a warning out for it, a severe thunderstorm warning that was out for it. Now we go to 7 p.m. And you notice here there's an intense cell over Port Washington. It pulsed and then it kind of weakened, but it did wind up going over Mineola. And the ground, we just got a light shower in Hicksville, and the ground was barely wet, but ground was pretty thoroughly soaked in Mineola, so it looked like Mineola got affected by that one quite a bit. And then we go, all right, so that's 8, and then we'll go to 9, which is the current. You can see there's that cell. And this is the cell that was over, so actually we'll move this back to 8. So this is the cell that was over Danbury, and then moved south. All right, so this is 8 o'clock, and then we move it to 9 o'clock. You can see these things aren't moving very quick. It's 9 o'clock, and now now it's trying to move cross over the sound, and it looks like it's heading right for it. Looks like anywhere from Northport out to Smithtown, this general area right here. Wouldn't be surprised if the Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning for that cell very shortly. Well, I'll just keep the radar on in case anything changes here. So, yeah, it looks like it's weakening, so it probably won't be a severe thunderstorm, but then there's some more activity over here that's popped. Literally, this is all because of this cutoff upper level low that's just sitting over us. Bringing up all this weather, incredible convection going on. It's amazing to see. So I guess we'll go and look at the rainfall reports. Let's go and look at that. Let's go to our weather observation map here, and you can see temperatures it got into the low 80s, but with all the showers and clouds around, the sun was out and it was a little hot in the afternoon, but then it cooled off with the thunderstorms hit. Still humid out there. If you look at the dew points generally in the mid 60s. But let's go and change this over and look at the rainfall amounts for the day. And we have to change this to start. Okay, we gotta change the start time. 12 a.m. Okay. So this will tell the story again as far as where the heavy rain fell. And you can see barely anything in Hicksville, 0.05. Mineola got 0.11. But as you go to the east, look at that, 1.43. It looks like in Woodbury. So this cell cream parts of Syosset, 0.39 in looks like Old Bethpage, and 0.29 over by Farmingdale. But the one that really caused a lot of rainfall, I think, was the one that hit the Pine Barrens. So not too much in Lake Grove, 0.10. All right, Middle Island got 0.55 here. Oh, there aren't a whole lot of observations. 0.46 at Brookhaven Airport. That's the problem with this. There aren't a whole lot of observations. I have a feeling some areas got more rain than that. So we're going to look at the Wonder Map site and take a look at that and see what the rainfall was today. Let's put the precipitation here. This will have a lot more stations to look at. So we'll work our way from west to east on the island. Okay, so you can see here. Yeah, we got that shower gave Mineola 0.14. Hicksville, nada, almost zero. But if you go just to the east, look at that. You got that 1.43 reading, 0.17 in Plainview. Let's see what we got here. So 0.39 in, it looks like Old Bethpage. So literally just to our east, they got the storm, but we didn't get it. And then it gave this part of the island about a quarter of an inch of rain, I guess, except for that one spot. Then there was this other cell around Brentwood that wound up hitting us. So 0.94, 0.79, it looks like in the Brentwood area, or I don't know if that's considered North Bayshore or Islip. Can't really call it Islip. It's more like North Islip. But 0.94 over here, 1.18 around Hauppauge. So that was that western cell. And then you had the eastern cell. Meanwhile, it missed the airport. Let's see. The airport got... What is the airport reporting? Well, actually, the airport isn't going to be listed here, but 0.29. The airport really didn't get it. But then, as you head out east in that area, all right, 1.2. This was this other cell that formed. Gave looks like it got a 1.2 reading in North Bellport, and 0.10 here. But we're going to go into the area of the Pine Barrens that got hit. So it looks like this part here, it's called Reekfield Park. Or I'll call it Yaphank. 1.32 there. 0.74 by the airport, 0.55 in Middle Island, and this cell was like in this Pine Barrens area here. So you got 1.35 in South Manor. So it looks like the Pine Barrens got a good amount of rain here, 0.39, but then nothing being reported over here. So I had a friend who told me he lives right around here in the northern part of Ridge, and he got nothing. So the cell just missed him completely. So it's very localized. Who got hit? Very localized. Riverhead didn't get anything either. So it's just very, very localized as to who got hit and who didn't. It was very localized. I guess the only thing to do, perhaps, would be, let's go ahead and look at the storm total. Maybe this would kind of kind of show us on the radar which areas got hit with more rain than others. I mean, some areas got close to an inch. Some areas got even more than that. And there could have been some hail. I don't know if there are any storm reports. We've got to look at the National Weather Service Twitter. Let's go ahead and look at the Twitter here from the Weather Service and see what is going on, because they are asking for reports. Please send us your storm report. So these are the severe thunderstorm warnings. This is the Brentwood, Levittown. All right, quarter-sized hail being reported at Upton. So they did get quarter-sized hail at Upton. Here are the pictures. You see them. And then that severe thunderstorm warning for that other cell over the Pine Barrens. And then a flood advisory is issued for New London. Severe thunderstorm warning for Clinton. I mean, this thing is just sitting here. All right, so it looked like they did. Look at that. Look at that picture. Wow. There's some rain over there by the Empire State Building. This was what the radar looked like earlier. And numerous flash flood warnings. All right, so this is their recap here for islip. This is islip. The highest temperature was 88. The lowest temp on June 22nd and June 24th. Well, I guess we'll go over the month now. So June, the lowest temperature was 44. Total rainfall was 1.56. That's 2.71 inches below normal. For islip, the average maximum temperature was 7.96. That's 3 degrees above normal. And the average minimum temperature was 1.5 degrees above normal at 61.7. So we were above normal, probably around, I would say, 2 degrees above normal for the month islip. No 90-degree days. For LaGuardia, we'll just go to Central Park. Well, there's Central Park here. I'm glad they did this. This way I don't have to go look at the thing. So Central Park had two 90-degree days. The highest temperature was 90 degrees on June 22nd and June 28th. So it did manage to hit 90. Total rainfall was 1.76. That's 2.65 inches below normal. Lowest temperature was 51 on June 1st. That was the early of the month. And then average maximum temperature 81.8, which is 2.5 degrees above normal. And the average minimum temperature 65.5, which is 2 degrees above normal. So we're roughly around a little over 2 degrees above normal, which is about, it was a warmer than normal month once again, as most of the months have been this year. So that's generally what we've been getting here. LaGuardia was really hot, 93 was the heat there. But let's see if we can get some. Looks like there's some posts here on storm. Let's see if there are any storm reports here. All right, lightning struck the water main shutoff lid outside my house in Ronkonkoma. So this happened in Ronkonkoma. Some quarter-sized hail in Yonkers. Cars reported stalled in water in downtown Danbury, Connecticut. So it looks like Danbury got pounded as well. In fact, let me go over there. We'll have to look at the rainfall reports over here. I'll just look at this one and see if we can get some more. Oh, yeah, they got soaked. All right, there's a 1.24 reading around Bridgeport. Let's find Danbury. Oh, yeah, look at these areas. Oh, man, they got pounded. Okay, Reading, 1.57. West Reading in Connecticut, 2.78 inches. So this area really got pounded. I'm trying to find Danbury in here. 2.36 in Bethel. Those are reporting at reading at 2.36. So they really got pounded in Connecticut. Lots of rain. I think I have to pull out a little more. Let's see. Trying to find Danbury in here. Danbury's over here, I believe. Oh, it's Bruce. They got a lot of rain here. I don't know why Danbury isn't coming up. Oh, there it is. I see it. Computer's just being ridiculous once again. So let's. What just happened here? I just saw Danbury. Where is it? There's Danbury. Okay. So let's see. We get a reading out of Danbury. 1.41 on the east side. 1.52. So, yeah, they got pounded. I'm sure there's going to be some storm reports from this. I don't think the Weather Service has put them up just yet, but we will get to them as soon as we can. I'll just put this back over Long Island. Okay, so let's see. Maybe the Weather Service has storm reports from today. I haven't even gotten into the forecast yet. We're still dealing with these storms, too. Okay. You know what? We'll go over the storm reports, I think, in tomorrow's update. I don't think they have any reports just yet. Um, I don't think they've come up with a summary. I can look and see. Let's see. Text. Let's see. Public information statement, local storm report. Let's see if there are any here. All right, there's that lightning. Okay, I don't think it's a summary though. I think it's, yeah, trees and wires down Hillcrest Avenue. There's a whole bunch of these here. So we'll go over the storm reports tomorrow when they come up with the summary. Let's let's take a look at the forecast. What a crazy day it was. Oh, and I also want to look at power outages too. So let's go to poweroutage.us. Doesn't look like there's too many power outages, fortunately. Let's see. New York only has 4,097. Connecticut has none. And New Jersey has 5,068. So not a huge power outage impact from these storms, fortunately. So let's go take a look at what's going to happen. So the issue is, yeah, we're in this. Let me go to the upper air. What did I just do? Let me go to the upper air. So we have this cutoff, and this is the problem: is the jet stream. If we looked at the jet stream in the last update, the jet stream is all out of whack. If we go to earthandoldskool.net, I'll show you the problem here. I'll look at the jet stream here. Instead of doing the upper air on that, I'll show you what's going on. No, air is gotta go, and we gotta go at the 250 level. This is the problem. The jet stream is completely disorganized. This is it. It's just going. Look at that loop. It's going way up into the Arctic and then coming down like this. Not normal at all. That's all part of climate change. So you can see, and that's why things just sit around like this cutoff low, which is finally going to start moving east of our area on Thursday. And then we see some weak ridging building in. We're still in the northwest flow. And then as we get later into July, we start seeing that ridge in the east, which I think is going to bring us some heat. But then another little trough comes through in mid-July, and then another bigger one toward the end of the period. The European, let's see what the European does. So this is the European. See, there's that trough there, pulls away. European has that ridge too, so that ridge is going to mean heat, and things are going to start heating up around here. So let me go to the GFS, and I'll look at the temperatures for the nation here. Actually, we'll look at the anomalies. How about that? The anomaly, temperature anomaly, so you can see the heat as we go into the period. So here we are, July 2nd, and you start to see more of that heat build, I think, in the east, but nothing too crazy. It doesn't have huge anomalies, but oh yeah, it does start as we get into that later part of the period. So we will see some heat, and then there's a nice plunge toward the end of the period, but this is the end of the period. You know the way the GFS is. Oh, what did I just do? Computer is acting screwed up again. Okay, so let's look at the temperatures for our area. And we'll look at that, and then we'll look at Actually, we'll go to the precipitation part first, I think. Actually, yeah, let me just pull this out of here, and we'll go to the CONUS view here. So much to cover. Okay, so you'll see it's drying out tomorrow. We see that ridge. Not as much precipitation around our area. It looks like another cutoff low. This is with that backdoor front that's going to bring possible chance of showers and thunderstorms Friday night to Saturday morning. Then we're dry for Saturday. The weekend looks decent. And you can see it looks like a high tries to build in there. It's a pressure low to the south. This is not an indication of a really hot pattern. This is not an indication. You don't see a huge ridge developing off the east, although it will be above normal. It won't be a terribly hot pattern. And if we look at the NAM, or look at the NAM precipitation chances, I'm not going to get into it too much on this because we have so many other things to talk about. You can see here an isolated shower thunderstorm perhaps to the west over New Jersey, but I don't think we'll be dealing with that tomorrow over Long Island. Here's Friday, and there's more of that chance, that little backdoor front that comes on through. And if we look at the temperatures, which I don't usually use the NAM for, but we will in this particular thing, you'll see tomorrow we do heat up. You see that in mid-upper 80s, perhaps near 90 in the city and New Jersey. And then for Friday, you can see there's going to be even more heat. NAM says it's going to be in the 90s on the city. Friday's going to be a hot one. Nassau County could get above 92. And then you can see that cooler air coming in from the east. And then Saturday, it's much cooler, only in the mid-70s with the backdoor front that comes through. It really shows up nicely on the NAM, actually. So we'll look at the dew points, too, and I'll show you. It should bring a little relief to the humidity, too. So here's tomorrow. It's humid and the southwest flow, so that's going to get those temperatures up. Sea breeze won't really make it too far inland. Just be relegated to the south shore. Friday, we have a west wind, so we're going to die on Friday. That's probably where we're going to die. Probably hitting 90, and we're going to have to wait for that backdoor front. And look at that backdoor front come through. Dew points drop nicely for Saturday, very nicely for Saturday. If we want to go past that, this is what the GFS has, similar idea. If we want to go past that, you'll see the humidity does come back. But you start to see some cooler air trying to get into the picture again. We got these backdoor fronts trying to help us out next week and save us from the heat on some days. But some days will just be brutal. You see, there are a couple of days they look really humid. Let's look and see how the GFS handles the temperatures for tomorrow. So Thursday, you can see, yeah, it's going to be a hot one tomorrow. Near 90, the very limited sea breeze. Friday, depending on where you are. The further east you are, the better off you'll be. The further west you'll be, the hotter it'll be. Saturday, much more comfortable. Sunday, we start heating up again, and here's next week. Doesn't look too bad until you get to the later part of the week, and then we could be dealing with some really big heat on the 9th and the 10th of July there. Oh, yeah, that could be a heat wave. So there's some indications now that we could have a heat wave possibly coming next week again with that ridge building. Even though you look at some of the maps, you can't really see it completely. Yeah, that's enough of a ridge. And again, with that west wind, we'll be dying well in the 90s. And I really hope that the indoor dining is open in the city in New Jersey, because you're going to have people dropping, and it's going to be, as long as I tell you, it's going to be bad. So let's look at the sky conditions here. And you'll see tomorrow plenty of sun, although it will be hot. We'll have plenty of sun. And then Friday, more clouds. Probably have some clouds around Saturday. Try to get rid of them on Sunday. Here is Monday and next week. And so it looks like there'll be a lot of sunshine, but it will be heating up for sure. Let's look at the NAM sky cover for tomorrow. So there's the NAM. Looks like it does have mostly sunny skies, but it's going to be hot. And Friday, similar deal. So just get ready for the heat. When you first look at it at the surface, it doesn't look that bad, but when you go closer, and it looks like the GFS is really producing some really major heat toward the end of next week. Of course, that's just one run, and we'll have to keep our eye on it. No models change, but that's going to wrap up this weather update. A ton to talk about today, and we'll go over the storm reports from today's storms tomorrow. Take care.